I think Baby Yoda could be like teenage Yoda at the end of this.
The idea that there are clones of Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Yoda's abilities, perhaps at the time of his disappearance, transitioned into the Baby Yoda.
Oh my God. Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Marina Mastros. This is Rogue Theory. That was terrifying. And today we're laying down our final predictions for the Rise of Skywalker. Woo! I am not Philip Molina. Philip Molina was here this morning. I saw him parking his car, but then he went, I didn't get a workout in today. So then he turned right around and just left. So he abandoned us to do something way more important. And here we are, guys. Yeah. With me to answer the questions of how we're going to do these predictions is, of course, Erik Voss.
Hi, haven't seen the movie yet. You might have. Don't judge us.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And also Danny Prikazsky.
Hi.
Woo!
And Leo Garcia.
Hi, I have seen the movie, but time is happening all at once. So.
Oh, yeah, you experienced time differently.
You've seen all movies.
Yeah, I've seen all the movies.
On this episode, we're going to go really rogue about Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yep. But first, Rise of Skywalker, okay? We're waiting for two Star Wars things to come out right now, and we want them to be connected. We're watching The Mandalorian. We're waiting for Rise of Skywalker, and I want to know, how are they going to put Baby Yoda into Rise of Skywalker? Are they? Can they? Will they? How would they do it?
I think,
Are they going to give us what our deepest heart desires? Because that's what we all want.
I think there's a chance that Baby Yoda may not show up in Rise of Skywalker as the one that we've seen in The Mandalorian.
Okay.
But the idea that there are clones of Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Just because the doctor in The Mandalorian,
Dr. Pershing.
Dr. Pershing is wearing the same symbol of the people who are sort of in charge of cloning in the universe. Yeah. So I think there is a world where some version of these. What's the race? What is Yoda?
We don't know the race.
Oh,
we don't know.
That's the whole thing.
It's the Yoda race.
That's why everybody
I guess I
calls
shouldn't be
him
calling.
Baby
I guess, and then we're calling Baby Yoda. He's just the child right now. We don't know what he's named.
Right.
He has a name.
I was going to say we can't call him anything other than Baby Yoda, but we can call him the child, and I just won't.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
We all need to be on the same page, and the page we're all on is Baby Yoda.
100%.
But the idea that there could be either the version from The Mandalorian or other ones in that universe. The idea is that they would just be something in the background, probably not affecting plot too much.
Yeah.
But the idea, like, here's something from the show that is connecting so that these things sort of are interwoven in some way.
Teasing episodes 10, 11, and 12.
I mean, if they're smart, right?
One can only hope they're smart.
Yeah, I think Baby Yoda could actually be pretty integral to the plot of Rise of Skywalker, which I will see in 8 hours. So we'll see if I'm wrong or not. But like, we know that Skywalker's, like, what does the Rise of Skywalker mean?
Yeah.
Is a character going to be related to Skywalker? Is it a ghost resurrection? We've talked about this theory that Skywalker is like a lowercase s. It's now going to be the new designation of Force practitioners. The Jedi Order's dead, and that everyone who does practices in the Force now will just be called Skywalkers. Either way, some new Jedi Order is going to form, and that this new order forming, imagine Rey running it.
Yeah.
Imagine her partner in crime being Baby Yoda, now a couple years older, right? Maybe like 20 years older. And we discussed how Baby Yoda ages, and that he must age dramatically between the ages of 50 and 100 based on Yoda's backstory. So like, Baby Yoda at age 70 is already going to be like an adult functioning Jedi master if he continues to practice in the Force. So yeah, I think Baby Yoda could be like teenage Yoda at the end of this, kind of like teenage Groot. But be less moody, but maybe the equivalent of like a human 60-year-old who's like helping Rey out and forging this new way of practicing the Force and looking at life.
I want it.
I feel like I age a little bit like Baby Yoda, just maturity wise. I think that I'm gonna be like this forever. I think that the linkage, the best linkage I can imagine between the Mandalorian's Baby Yoda and the Rise of Skywalker is clearly Palpatine is still around.
Yeah, that's right.
The Force has sort of a way of balancing itself out, I think. We don't need some chosen one to bring balance to the Force. But I think that because Yoda was like the utmost master of the Jedis and the light side, and Palpatine was the utmost master of the dark side, if he never went away, then we shouldn't have really lost that power and that authority in Yoda the way we did in the final installment of the original trilogy. So I think that Yoda's abilities, perhaps at the time of his disappearance, transitioned into the Baby Yoda.
Oh, okay. So just like there always must be a darkness, and there always must be a Slayer.
And so
and Baby Yoda slays. If we know one thing.
Yes.
I think that there may then just be some sort of allusion to Baby Yoda of like, well, if Palpatine's still around, then
there
where's the
has
light
to be
side
a
of
There
balance.
must be
Yeah.
some pure light somewhere.
Yeah,
That's Baby Yoda.
that's
I like
great.
that.
Yeah, and also we do talk. We mentioned it about on Big Question and like go see it if it's not out, or maybe when it's coming out. But like for a baby, he's very intuitive about what people need and want and feel, and he wants to help. And human babies don't know about that. Human babies are like, I'm the center of the universe, but Baby Yoda is like very good intrinsically.
And like maybe that species, their like empathy develops more quickly in in that time of their life before like their language. I mean, obviously the language processing part of the brain doesn't ever get that great for the species.
Broken sentences at best.
Who knows how many languages he speaks?
Yeah, that's right.
English could be his 482nd language.
And we've all been.
Am I really racist right now? Oh no,
racist you are.
Racist am I?
That's great. Great. Oh, those are all really fun, and I'm gonna give.
But quantify them.
The amount.
How fun was that?
I'm gonna quantify the amount of fun that you guys gave me in blocks of wood. So
they're different colors now too?
They are different colors.
Whoa.
Someone's getting a silver.
Someone's getting a silver one, someone's getting a regular Rogan one, someone's getting a quarter.
The dud.
Oh, you've already chosen. You haven't not chosen who gets what.
I chose it based on who I like best. So Eric, you lose.
Okay.
Danny, you win.
Yeah.
And Leo, you
Danny.
are dead
Normal.
in the middle. Yeah.
Normal.
Fair enough.
That sounds fine.
And the silver
like that
ones are
ranking.
worth two.
Because I wore a collared shirt.
It's because you look very nice today.
Stop.
Here seems like a good place to take a break for our sponsors, or maybe it's just whatever cool things New Rockstars is doing right now.
Hey, Rogue Theory listeners, if you're enjoying what you're seeing at Rogue Theory, but you want some more hard facts and a bit more booze added to this formula, then you should check out our new Q&A show, The Big Question, where we go into the really nerdy and kind of hard to answer, but still really interesting questions like how much exactly does Thor's hammer weigh? What happens when Hulk thunderclaps? Why doesn't Darth Vader force choke everyone? How does Baby Yoda age exactly? Are lobsters immortal? Yeah, we answer all of these big questions with some actual numbers and science. And yes, alcohol. It's a new show that we're very proud of, and definitely check it out. Coming to the channel weekly, and you can also subscribe to the Big Question podcast feed to get audio versions of it.
Guys, okay, we're back.
We're back.
Yes, we're back to Rogue Theory. The trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife came out last week, and it hints at a lot of connections to the original two movies. So, guys, how do we think this movie is going to connect to the first two? There's probably going to be Slimer. Do we want there to be a Slimer? Do we not want to be?
Yes.
Now we're just asking opinions? Yes, I would like Slimer.
I like Slimer.
I would like that.
I do want to know opinions.
Before we get into theories, can I just say that the gave me chills?
Yeah.
It was a nice kind of scary vibe.
Yeah.
The opening of the first Ghostbusters was kind of like a horror movie. We didn't know it was funny yet.
Yeah.
It seems like we're going back there. Yeah. So here's my theory. I think the original idea for Slimer, according to Ivan Reitman and Ramis and Aykroyd and all those guys, is that it was a ghost of John Belushi. That's kind of their inside joke. Is that like he's a party animal. He eats all the food. He's kind of he's piggish in the way he slobbers down all the food.
He's hilarious.
He's
hilarious.
He's super funny. So I think when they were in talks over the decades to do a Ghostbusters 3 before the 2016 one came out, like Bill Murray said he would only do it if he was a ghost, and then like he kept like conflicting with the studio because they're like, well, we don't want to kill you off. He's like, no, I'd be much funnier if you just made me a ghost. So I think they're finally going to do that.
When you're a star, you can do whatever you want.
And like there was actually some talk that he was pressured by Sony's lawyers to make a cameo in the 2016 one. So this one, I think, like the fact that it's Jason Reitman, it's Ivan Reitman's son, I think like all of the surviving, like Ramis obviously no longer with us, but I think like Ernie Hudson, Aykroyd, and Murray are all going to be like in Slimer versions in this movie, and you're going to see like ghost versions of them.
That'd be
I don't want to see a Slimer Sigourney Weaver though.
Yeah, I think she might be alive. I mean, it sounds like everyone with the exception of Rick Moranis are going to be in it. But Annie Potts is going to come back. I think some of them will be alive, but the Ghostbusters, the actual like guys in the jumpsuits, who like they're all going to have passed away, and they're going to come back as ghosts.
The lore of the ghosts has always been confusing to me because some ghosts are just like spectral versions of their human selves, and some things are Slimers, which like what the hell was Slimer? Like what was he?
Yeah, like a booger or something.
You die and then you see yourself and you're like, what the?
And there's like skeletons driving cabs. It's like,
that's right. Practical skeletons.
They're all over the map. I mean, maybe though there are like certain spirits that are the spirits of. Are we giving too much credit? Like there are certain spirits that are like just the spirits of dead folks, and then there are spirits that are coming from like the Gozerverse or like that other plane where we've got demons and baddies.
Maybe it's another dimension.
Yeah.
The Gozerverse.
Oh, coin that. That's my copyright. Nobody takes it.
Didn't we discuss before this that like the fact that like the 2016 all-female Ghostbusters still exists? They're in a different universe than the ones with Stantz and Spangler and all them. So like, are we gonna see like a Ghostbuster or a Busterverse, like where we see different separate realities where the Ghostbusters were different, or the Ghostbusters were
I'd watch
kids,
that.
or were different races, or just like or were ducks.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck. Ghostbuster crossover.
Oh, Howard the Duck Ghostbuster
Or 1985 Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Eric, that was great, but because I don't like you that much, you only get a quarter Rogie.
All right. I'm on a weighted scale. That's fine.
Eric's playing with a handicap. Is a handicap good or bad in golf?
It determines how many strokes you get in advance. It's you're bad if you have a high handicap.
You get a handicap.
Okay, because I suck.
No, it's because he's great, but he wins too much, so he gets fewer points.
I get a handicap.
There you go.
So when I first read the like synopsis for this movie, and my like knee-jerk reaction was, it says something about like, oh, this is the family and the children learn something about their grandfather. Mm-hmm. My knee-jerk reaction was, well, they're the children of Slimer, obviously. But because like that would be amazing if Slimer somehow was able to have progeny.
That's a sexy ghost.
But no, I think.
And who's to say he can't?
Based on the trailer, it seems like that goes in the closet. That goes. It seems like the uniform they see in the closet is Spangler. So the presumption is that these are his great grandchildren or his grandchildren. Grandchildren. So Carrie Coon would be his daughter, and these would be his grandchildren. So I think that's like the base way that it's connected. But I also think there are other elements, like Shandor, who was the architect who originally built the building that Dana lived in.
Ivo Shandor
is also
what a name.
Apparently, it's also he's the one who is in charge of this mining shaft.
Shandor Mine,
where the green things that look like Slimer are sort of like flying out of. So I think those are going to be sort of the connections. They're going to be more. I mean, I think there are going to be people popping up as cameos, but I think in terms of actually narratively threaded through, I don't know how much of aside from those things will be connected.
But that's like very like that makes sense. It's solid, and like I feel like this movie is trying to like have us take it a little more seriously and be a little scarier, which for horror fans like myself, I'm very into. Like I would like to be genuinely scared at some point during this movie. That's great. It's very solid. There you go.
Solid.
Whole one.
You got
that wasn't even rogue at all.
Because I like it and I'm taking it. It's making me be invested in it.
My initial thing was rogue, and the rest of it wasn't that rogue. That Slimer is their grandfather.
That's Slimer.
I like that. That's how we got Slimer. Get a rogue for that.
Hell yeah.
I really I have more of like just things that I want to see besides like actual theories. And like the number one thing that I want to see is more excellent names like Ivo Shandor and Vince Clortho, Keymaster of Gozer. That shit slaps. I love it. Oh my gosh. I want to see some really weird names.
That's great.
I hope that the way we can get to that is through like they've defeated Gozer. Like they cross the beams to like destroy the portal and blow up the big marshmallow man. And Ivo Shandor, like, I guess in the deep canon, like in the video game, he like discards his tie to that destructor god and makes himself into a destructor. And like, I really want to see his or his cult's attempts to bring out a new god from the pantheon of Gozer.
Yeah.
Because obviously Gozer has her demigods, Vince Clortho and Zool. I want to see, like, what are the other gods in this pantheon? You know,
what are their names?
What are their freaking rad names, dude? Are they going to come about as a giant Clorg and stuff? You guys remember that? Do you guys remember Rick Moranis like describing all the like manifestations of Gozer? Because I just like died. It was so good.
That's
great.
Like,
because it still has to do with ghosts, and because the movie is titled Afterlife.
I
sort of want to see like the god of the dead or like the god of like the afterlife from that pantheon. And I want to see something that's not like as blatantly horrifying as a destructor, but maybe just like scary because it's crossing the lines between the afterlife and the tangible material realm.
Paul Rudd, Finn Wolfhard, and McKenna Grace crossing the river Styx. Figure out what's going on.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
You get a quarter because it's just a list of things you wanted.
Yeah, and I'm already way ahead.
Yeah, that's true. But there is, so we remember the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, right? But I want to know, what is going to be the new like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? Like, what giant thing are we going to see? What should it be?
Baby Yoda. Giant Baby Yoda.
Yeah, he would be very destructive.
It's the Geico Gecko.
That's so good.
That's great.
Or like a Twinkie, like a giant Twinkie.
A Twinkie?
Yeah.
But it's not mobile, so it just flops over.
It just rolls.
Oh, it rolls.
But then it's going to goo on everybody.
Yeah.
That's what was fun about the Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, that's right.
Gooed on.
He gooed on everyone. This Marshmallow Man.
Can't stop going.
Marshmallow Man.
Wow, this could be the sexiest Ghostbusters yet.
He's a sailor. We get this guy. Get this guy laid. We won't have any problems.
Where's my quarter? I'm out of quarter rogies, so there you go.
Whoa.
Big one.
Whole ass rogie.
That's your
You
advantage.
make her laugh. He found the key
Make
to
'em laugh.
winning.
Make 'em laugh.
And then the cloud.
Worst one.
I have to surrender one of my.
Oh God. Okay, great, guys. Recap your point totals because it's time for rogue questions.
I'll go first. I have 3 rogies.
This is very different from last week.
Oh no.
I've got 2 1/4.
2.25.
I believe I have 2 rogies and I've just grown to giant size.
These are normal sized rogies. I'm a giant.
I forgot that I only gave you 2 quarter ones.
And she's like, where are all my quarter
I
rogies?
know, I gave them all to
I've
Eric.
grown 4 times the size.
I'm roughly the size of a bar.
He ate eggs, Watchmen.
That's
all
right.
connected.
There you go. Okay,
What
guys.
a finale, by the way.
What?
Oh my God, blew my mind.
What a finale.
Insane.
I'm not ready to talk about it.
I can't talk about it. I can't talk about
say
it.
anything. Guys, it's anybody's game.
All right.
Don't worry, Eric. You could still win because we have rogue questions.
I hate that it's anyone's game. I want it to be my game. I want it to be in the bag right now.
I hate rules. Don't worry. You guys haven't seen these questions, and neither have I. So, rogue question number 1. Disney is rebooting Home Alone with the kid from Jojo Rabbit. What changes get made to modernize Home Alone? And more specifically, this is not written on the card, but I want to know, what traps is he going to do?
It's all Internet of Things enabled devices. And he's just going to be like,
Yeah. Alexa.
maybe this is up, but he's like paralyzed in a bed and he's controlling them all with his mouth.
Ooh.
Like he's got one of those straws that he can blow. And he's just like mastermind.
Yeah. Great.
I mean, I think that a big wave of pop culture in 2019 has sort of been aimed at, white supremacists and whatnot. So I think maybe the people trying to break in and so they're neo-Nazis and he is taken down. And I do kind of agree with you.
He's paralyzed.
In that, like, I agree with him that he's paralyzed. No, I agree with him that, like, I think technology there's gonna be a huge step forward.
Yeah.
And so there's so much like automation of things in the house house.
Yeah.
That he'll be able to like, I'm gonna turn the AC way up in this room and make them and freeze them. And they'll be like.
All the traps are gonna make the dudes do Fortnite dances, and he's gonna make really great TikToks using like security cameras around the house. Yeah. And
he just makes them internet famous.
I think the little boy's gonna murder them immediately and just claim stand your ground laws or something.
And then he's just gonna floss for the rest of the movie.
Now you get a whole Rogie.
And his name, George
Goodbye. Rogue question number 2. Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yes.
But
it's also a Hanukkah movie.
Yep.
Yes.
But it's not one you can really watch with the whole family. No. Give me your best G-rated version of Bruce Willis's famous line.
Yippee-ki-yay!
Yeah, it's just silent during that part. Great.
I was the baby, and look who's talking. You just put that over. You just dub that over.
Or Yippee-ki-yay, Baby Yoda. No, that's stupid. Just insert pop culture reference.
Baby Yoda, always funny.
Question number 3. This is our last episode before Christmas.
Oh,
guys.
nice.
Yeah. Give me your best nerd Santa Claus impression. Okay, so it's Santa, but he's a nerd. Cool. Who did this? Off-screen producer Zach.
Santa exists in the Marvel universe, I think. Like,
he does?
Santa shows up in some Marvel comics.
Just give me a version of Santa Claus that is not your typical Santa Claus. Like, do an impression of a new Santa Claus. And also,
what's wrong with the nerdy Santa Claus?
It could be nerdy, but also if I can guess who your Santa Claus is based on the impression, then you definitely get a Rogie or some kind of prize.
Okay, all right.
Worst Christmas ever.
I also should have said I'm bad at references.
Okay, so
I'm bad at voices.
I didn't even know Yippee-ki-yay.
Ho, ho, ho. I'm going to slide down your chimney. Give you some presents.
That's great. Eric?
No, he already won. I can't believe it.
I want an impression.
You could get a golden Rogie.
You could.
Ho.
That's great. That's Palpatine.
Palpatine.
He's Palpatine Santa.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Oh, are you not? Shrek Santa? Do Shrek Santa.
You do Shrek Santa.
I'll do Shrek Santa.
Okay.
Wait. Children, I'm putting your presents under a tray. I've got coal to put in your stockings. Where are your parents? What are you doing up so late? Where's my mother cookies?
Nice.
And my milk.
Shrek too.
Shrek.
I saw Shrek Ever After.
It was agreed on Reddit that Shrek is the most attractive animated character.
He is love and
Wait,
he
what?
is life.
What?
Yeah,
That's an insane
there was
thing.
This excellent Reddit thread
Shrek
where
is
someone
love.
was like, who do you guys think is the most attractive animated character? And everyone agreed this is a terrible question, and everyone answered Shrek.
After this is over,
that's a
I'm going to
bit.
show you guys Shrek is love, Shrek is life. He is thick and he is sexy.
But if it's not Shrek, then who is it? Are you going with Shrek?
It is Shrek.
Okay.
The most attractive?
Yeah, the most attractive animated.
Shrek.
Yeah,
Shrek.
No. Have a different answer and you can win.
It's Slimer from the Ghostbusters cartoon.
There, done.
Slimer from the Ghostbusters cartoon.
The cartoon, he's cute.
It's the woolly coat from the real Ghostbusters.
What about the gorilla from Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Nobody is saying Robin Hood from the animated movie Disney movie.
fox.
The
The
fox.
fox.
Shrek takes that cake.
Get out of here.
That fox.
That's
Fox.
that fox. Leo wins though.
Whoa.
Great. Cause what's the score?
4 Rogies.
3 1/4.
And it's just 2 2/4 because scale tells me that I'm not a giant.
It's just a Rogie with 2 hats. Great. So Leo wins and
hit
he
Mickey.
gets his wish. Danny, you don't get your wish.
It's all right,
Eric,
it
you
sucked.
don't get your wish.
Oh.
And Leo's wish is that I control Marina's Twitter until the end of the episode. But I being Leo, so I'll give it to you right
on
now.
December 19th.
December 19th.
Marina's Twitter will be wild. Happy 6 days before Christmas, everyone.
There you go.
This was well thought out.
Who knows what he's tweeting?
Oh my God, look at that one.
So do you know how to schedule
How
it?
embarrassing.
Thanks for
People
watching.
think Marina wrote that.
Oh boy! Thanks for watching Road Theory, guys. Clearly, we haven't planned anything out. He's doing it in real time.
Oh no! You said slimmer.
I I tried to type it so fast I didn't know what she was
Oh
doing.
my God. Okay, Leo, tell us, since we're talking about Twitter, tell us where we can find you on it.
You can find me on Twitter at Leo Adrian Garcia, but you can also find me at IndieWire.com, podcast and video.
I'm making a new Twitter account at Slimmer. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Danny Prikazsky.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I feel so bad for our editors who had to bleep out all of these. You can find me at Erik Voss, and be sure to watch our Die Hard breakdown this Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Because Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
That's right. Guys, I'm Marina Mastros. I'm not Philip Molina, but one day I might be if I work out hard enough. This has been Rogue Theory. Bye.
Bye.